Hello, stupid.
Hello, Saniya.
Hi, Tama. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I have my coffee here. It's kind of an overcast morning here, but I'm ready to record.
Oh, well, the lighting is nice because it's overcast.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it
like a
is.
soft white light.
Your lighting's different too.
Is it? It's also overcast.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the other day, remember you were so bright?
I know. I was. I don't. I think I was just sweaty, so it was reflecting a lot.
That's so funny, like an Edward Cullen moment where you're just glowing,
Glistening.
glistening.
Too
Yeah.
funny. That's nice of you to put it that way. Also, I just realized now, but can you hear the dryer?
No.
Okay, because I decided to wash my like Dawn pillows 2 days ago, and
What's Dawn pillows?
like feather pillows.
Oh, down.
Down, sorry, down.
Yeah.
Oops,
I was
is it
like,
not?
Dawn?
How is it spelled? With an O?
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
I don't know.
But
Actually,
anyways,
fact check me. You're always right with these things.
I think
Down pillows. Yeah, yeah. Down and feather pillows. Yeah, I'm right. Thank God.
okay, perfect. But yeah, like when I washed them the first time yesterday, I think I didn't dry them enough, even though they seemed dry. They weren't dry enough, so they started stinking, like smelling really, really, really bad.
Oh no.
So I was reading up on it, and apparently you have like to tumble dry them a lot to make sure they're not. So they're still kind of stinkies, but I'm just gonna keep drying them until like they say like just keep drying them until they don't smell anymore.
Oh
I'm like,
wow.
oh, I'm worried.
Are you a soft pillow kind of guy?
No,
So is
prefer
the down pillow like for decoration?
no. They're 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 Justin's pillow. They
Oh.
they're old, so they're harder, and they're
Oh.
not new. Yeah, enough
Interesting.
about that. I don't want to get more into it.
Are you insecure about your pillows?
A little bit. Now they're stinky, and I think I might have ruined them. So
Oh, yeah, that's rough. I know
yeah,
washing things and ruining them in the wash is literally the worst thing.
yeah, yeah. It is. I might still just try like sending them to the dry cleaner afterwards if it still doesn't work. But
Yeah, but I think when something smells, it's hard to get the smell out
and
without removing the thing that's smelling.
it's like a wet animal smell.
Oh, yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Anyways,
move on then.
how's your day going?
Good. Yeah, it's just 10 a.m. here. I've been packing, leaving on our trip in 2 days, a day.
Yeah.
We leave on Saturday. It's Thursday here. So yeah, I'm getting a little nervous. There's just so much to pack because we're also going to a wedding after. Um,
To our listeners, they must sound like we do nothing but go on vacation.
I know. I know. And we actually like I mean for me, this is a big traveling year. I haven't traveled as much since like 2018.
Yeah, me neither. Usually, I don't usually travel this much, but I didn't travel that much this year actually. But
Mhm.
I feel like I took a lot of vacations back to back, and
Mhm.
you just came back from vacation and you're going again.
Yeah, because I did Hawaii with my parents, and then I did Barcelona as a bachelorette, and now I'm doing another one. But like, here's the thing: like after this, sitting down at home for the rest of
Hmm.
the year.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh no, 100%. My bank account will not allow me. But I'm really excited because I love summers in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So just doing that is gonna be so fun. And then probably, yeah, probably a trip in the fall because I'm gonna be like, I'm depressed.
Okay. See already. I'm really hoping to come by Vancouver and come see you this summer. Actually, I should try that.
I know. I really hope you do. It'd
Hmm.
be, it's funny. Like we've never like technically lived in the same city
No.
at the same time. I mean, we did when we weren't friends, really.
Oh, true. Before we
And
knew
then
each other.
we did for a bit when we were working together, but like then since we've bonded, we've never been in the same city.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
Maybe we would never have bonded that much if we did live in the same city. Maybe
True.
it would be too much of each other.
True, we'd think we have to hang out all the time, and I'm such a homebody, so I'd be like, no.
Maybe the distance is what makes this work.
Maybe. You know what? You're right. I am a lot just closer to people that don't live here just because then I can call them all the time and bother them. And the people that live here low key probably hate me because I always flop on them.
Oh my god.
And I
Yeah.
think, like, you prioritize seeing friends when you're in a different city because you're like, oh, I'm here. It's so rude not to. While you're at home, it's like, it's not rude. I'm at home.
Yeah. I mean, it is easier to like. It's true that I don't call my friends who are here, like to
Yeah,
just catch up, and it is easier to like call you for an hour and catch up, and then have the rest of my day to myself
exactly.
than to
Yeah.
like plan something to hang out and all that.
Yeah, totally. But you are a lot more social than me, I think.
Not by choice.
At home, not by choice. That's
No, I
so
am. I've
funny.
been. I've never. I don't remember when I've. When's the last time I've been so like this social?
Mhm.
Um, I think a lot of it is because of Justin. I think Justin's very social, and I'm just kind to keep trying to keep up with him.
Which is funny because Justin's more of an introvert.
No, oh God, no, 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 no.
But like, like, sorry, like social being like when you guys are hanging out, he's more of the quiet one, and you're the more chatty one.
So that's interesting that you have that perspective actually, because he's very much of an extrovert. He kind of like wants to be around people all the time. Like it recharges him to be around people.
Uh huh.
But he also has no social anxiety, so he's like has no problem just like being around people and like going to his phone and just doing stuff and whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like being more like he'll just chime in when he wants to chime in. He won't.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm much more of an introvert. Like I need my alone time a lot to recharge,
Mm-hmm.
but I also have a lot of like social anxiety, so I feel the need to entertain every time, like the entire time people are around me.
True. Yeah.
So that's why I can come across as more of an extrovert.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. So do you entertain people because of your social anxiety?
I
I think
think
you like to
so.
be a host too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I mean, I do find it very exhausting to host.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm working on it a lot because it's so freaking annoying that I try to entertain people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if it comes across as if I'm making myself the center of the attention, I think.
No, I think that's just your social anxiety talking.
Okay, maybe okay.
I've never hung out with you in a group of people and been like, oh my god, Doma needs to shut up. It's all about him. I've never thought that. I
Really?
just find
Oh,
you
I
like a
worry
good
about that all
host.
the time.
Yeah, no, I think you're a good host, and I thought you like genuinely like doing it because you're always like, oh, can I get you another drink?
I do like doing it.
But yeah, I
I
can
do
get
like
that
doing it.
because it becomes exhausting.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually our trip. We're going to be 7 of us traveling together. And we're gonna be 7 in, and they're all wonderful people. I mean, 2 I haven't met yet, but I heard great things. Like they're wonderful. The rest of them, like we grew very close. All of us, like I absolutely love them.
You're going with Heesh, our brand manager.
Yeah, I'm going with Ish, their partner. I'm going with another friend, Yan, and then 2 more friends of Justin. But we are going to be in a like 3-bedroom Airbnb for like 6 days,
Hmm.
and it's kind of a smaller European apartment, and I am nervous. Like I am anxious that I'm going to freak out and won't have enough like I won't be able to find the space or the time for like my peace of mind, and that
Hmm.
I'll feel the need to like just take care of everyone the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to work really hard and keep myself in check and just allow myself to chill.
So if you're listening to this, please don't forget to check in because this would be post Oma's trip. So let's see how him and his social anxiety is doing. I think you'll be fine though. Yeah. It's so funny when I went on that bachelorette trip, it was with a group of 8 girls, and I'd never been on a big trip like that
Oh
with
yeah,
a
it's
group of 8
true.
girls. And sorry, that being I didn't know 4 of the girls, never met them. Um and also just like a bachelorette trip, like that was like, super itinerary. We're doing like things
Hmm.
every hour of every day, and I was super
Right.
anxious about that, but something happened within me, and I was like an energizer bunny. I would not sit down. Like we'd come back to the Airbnb between like day and night, and I would be
Yeah.
cleaning or in the shower getting ready for night. I just did not sit down, but that was like 4 full days. And then um yeah, but the last day, like literally, I was on the train to the airport by myself, and I was just so exhausted that like I've never done this, but just sat there, no headphones, nothing, and just stared off out a window. Like I ran out of data at that point with my eSIM, and I'm just like, I don't care. I just need to be in like silence, zoned
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. How big was the Airbnb?
So the Airbnb was like a good size. Like there's 4 bedrooms, 2 full washrooms, and
Yeah,
then like we had like a good amount of space in the living room and everything too. Um
yeah,
so yeah, like it didn't feel it was good because you could all hang out in the living room, but then if you need your space, go in your bedroom and like it's not like you're like in the
yeah,
center
yeah.
of it still.
We have one shower for the 7 of us,
That's
but I think
that's a
two
little wild.
toilets.
Two
Yeah.
toilets is perfect, but the one shower, like it was 8 girls too. So
Oh
we
yeah.
actually kind of like, I mean, I was like, everyone would be like, oh, I'm going to wake up and shower. So then I'd be like, okay, great. I'm showering right after the club, so I don't
Right.
have to wake up early. I just don't like to wake up early and then have to wait. But then that way, like, we were good about like, okay, this person's going first. And we like woke the other person up as soon as we were
Yeah, yeah,
done.
yeah. I also have very like very I don't want to say strict, but like settled, like a very set in stone like bathroom habits. That like even sharing a bathroom with Justin at home sometimes is a bit tricky.
Okay.
So like, with 7 people, I might be like, "Oh my god!"
So one of my friends was kind of like that, and
Yeah,
but the other, like me and the other girl knew, so we'd be like, okay, well she needs to go first,
yeah,
and then one day like we woke up and she hadn't woken up, and we're like, how is she gonna make it, because it's like all set in stone but also timely.
yeah,
And we both were like, we looked at each other, we're like, she hasn't gone to the washroom yet. And we
yeah.
all are ready. Like we like ran back to her and we're like waking her up. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like take the morning to myself today. And we're like, oh, okay, thank God. We were like so panicky. Um, I think
Yeah,
with that, I would say communicate.
yeah. Too funny. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not worried about anyone I'm traveling with. I'm worried about myself. I'm worried
Yeah.
about like me being able to like keep my head on my shoulders and not just spiral out and freak out. But I'm
Yeah.
sure it's going to be fine. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
You'll be
I'm just
fine.
looking at the negative now, and so I just have to switch my mood into yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, you'll be fine. And I mean, this is actually a perfect segue in what we're talking about today. But
Oh,
I'll
is
let
it?
you go in
I
with your
haven't done
dad
my
joke
jokes yet.
first.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I was
I was
about to
just like,
just take it away.
I forgot we were recording. I was just like talking to my friend on the phone. All right, I have one here. What's I don't know if I've done this one already. I don't think so. What's pink and bad for your teeth?
Pink, your tongue.
A brick.
Oh,
What's brown and sticky?
poop.
A stick.
Oh, I like that one. Also, poop isn't really sticky.
It could be.
Gross.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
I
I
thought it
haven't done
kept
it.
going.
It's the first time you hear those, is it?
Yeah, I've never heard those before.
Okay, good.
If not, I'd know the answer.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Okay, so I have something that's kind of relatable to what we were talking about, but not at the same time at all.
Cool.
Well, what we're talking about is stupid coworkers.
Oh, nice.
So having coworkers and colleagues or something like I want to say 95% of people have in common, right? Even if you don't actually like work from an office or go into work every day, there is someone who you work with. Usually, unless you're like a little small business owner and you're your own boss and you do everything on your own schedule.
Hmm.
Um, so this kind of like brings me into like TV shows. What are some really common trending TV shows that everyone's talking about all the time? The Office, right, is one of
Right.
them. And a lot of TV shows, the central theme around these TV shows is work drama,
Right.
right? Like thinking about The Office, Parks and Recs, Mad Men, Brooklyn Nine
Oh my god, Parks
Nine,
and Recs was so good.
right?
Yeah.
um Grey's Anatomy, Superstore, Abbott Elementary, House, The Bear, The Morning Show, Suits, Scrubs, just to
Oh
name
my
a
god, you're
few.
right. There is a lot.
Right? And like, while some of these are an actual office setting, like The Office and Parks and Recs, the others are taking place in like grocery stores, police stations, schools, hospitals, law offices, and like TV show sets. But the main theme around them is your colleagues, right? Your
Hmm.
interactions with them, the drama. And something about this, like, I guess we can't get enough of because we seem to love these kind of shows.
Oh my god, Office drama is the best.
Or do you watch The Office?
I did.
Did you? I actually could never really get into it, but like I do like now, like I see a lot of memes around them and I do find them funny. Um,
Oh, it was a good show. It was. I don't think I loved it as much as like people who like elevate it to like a cult thing do. But
yeah.
but I just meant like office drama in general. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
drama from
I
the
love
office.
office drama too.
Yeah,
But why do
that's
you
how we
think we
bonded.
love it? Exactly. But why do you think we love it? What is something about it that makes us love
um, that's a good question. I don't know. It's very um exciting and distracting from. I think it's a very fun distraction from work.
it? Yeah. Yeah. And I totally agree. Like that is what I was gonna say too. I think it
Right.
just
Okay.
makes work relatable. You have someone in common. Like you bond with your coworkers over that annoying person,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
about like the office tea. It gives you something to talk about. Obviously, you can be talking about your personal lives and all of that, but like it's so much more fascinating to talk about someone who just got fired,
Yeah.
or someone who bombed their presentation. Totally. So what are some types of coworkers that you've seen or you've dealt with in a space that bothers you?
Okay, I love this question. Um, the one thing that I have the most difficulty about is people who take themselves so seriously and who think that like they're hot shit, and like that kind of like it feels like they bought a book on like how to climb the ladder at the office and they're playing that like very corporate game that like no one else is playing and everyone is just like chatting like normal to people, but then
Mhm.
they're like I don't know, it really feels like the equivalent of those like pickup artist books but for like corporate office,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I get
that's
those.
that's the kind of attitude that like I'm like, ugh, so gross, and like that really take themselves, yeah, so seriously.
That's so funny. So actually for context for our listeners, like if you're new here, um Toma and I like technically met when we were both working at like the training department for this company. We both were like new instructors. We got thrown into a class together to
Hmm.
teach.
Yeah.
Um and actually this was for me. Well, no, it wasn't my first corporate setting. Actually, yeah, I think it was my first corporate setting as an adult. Before then, um, when I was like, I think 19, I did an internship at my sister's workplace, which was an advertising agency. And that was my first little dabble at the corporate world, but I was an
Oh my god.
intern, literally did
You
nothing.
did?
Yeah, it was so weird. It wasn't that exciting. Her like agency was not very dramatic, and they also had the interns on like the lower floor, while like the actual office was on the floor upstairs. So we like my sister would tell me about the drama on the drive there and drive home, but other
Yeah.
than that I didn't get to see it.
Right, right, right.
Um and then also I did work for like a clothing company, like, and I did get a taste of corporate there, but that was all like from home.
Yeah.
So
It's
when
very
we
different.
joined, that was my first corporate in person job.
Yeah.
How about for
Yeah.
you?
I think, I mean, I've worked in call centers and stuff before, in offices, but it's not the same. It's not the same kind of drama. It's not the same vibe. There is also that kind of like, there is a lot of office drama actually in call centers also, but it's the first time that it was like very much like not working with the public, just working directly with my coworkers.
Yeah.
And it was a very strange, oh God, it was strange.
I know call center drama, like yeah, like my like clothing corporate job was a bit call center based, and it's like you don't get the full drama because it's like, oh, I have to take calls at this point, or I
Yeah.
have to actually
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
tend to guests.
Yeah.
But there's always a little drama in the emails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I just remembered, oh my god, the most embarrassing thing. So I start at this like big clothing store.
Yeah.
Is that the word? And I'm working from
Brand.
home. This is during COVID. And it's like, yeah, it feels like my first like adult job where I'm answering emails, right? And my team lead sent me an email saying like, hey, like, can you send like a quick little intro email to me? And I was like, yeah, of course. And this like clothing brand is very like, like health and wellness, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
good vibes only, like you want to be that girl. So I was like, okay, cool. Like I can totally be that girl. So I replied to her email in the most like annoying, like, oh my God, like, hi, my name is Sanya. Like, I love yoga and traveling, and my favorite destination is Bali, and
Oh
all these
no.
things. Like, I was cringing at the email, but I know this is what she wanted to hear, right? And like,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
this is my first week. Like, I want to make friends. And like, she sent it to the team, right? But like, not being a corporate girly, I decided to reply all instead of just reply to her. And like, I like sent it and I died inside. I was like, this is so
You said
embarrassing.
your like little cringy introduction to everyone.
Yeah. And it was meant for her. She's like, oh, send it to me. And I was like, this is so gross. And it was so upset. Like, I
Oh my
literally
God.
was like,
It's
I like
so like
pressed
pick
send,
me
I
girl.
noticed, and I like had to walk away. Um, so pick me,
Oh
girl.
no.
And it's so embarrassing because like a couple other people did that from the team too. And I was like, oh, what is wrong with that?
That is
But
so funny.
I know. Um,
At least you weren't the only one.
I know, but I think I don't know. I personally felt like mine was the most cringy. Theirs was just lame. But I guess mine was cool.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it
yeah.
was cringy. It was not
Yeah,
cool. It
I
was not
know.
really
I just
cool.
wanted to
Forget about
hide
it.
in a whole
Yeah.
laughter. All
It's very
right.
funny.
So while we're talking about annoying coworkers, that I probably was, people probably saw my email and they're like, what is wrong with her? This pick me girl. Let's talk about a couple different other types of annoying coworkers.
Okay, great.
Um, so we have the gossip. The office gossip can usually be found in clusters with other coworkers around someone's desk, getting the scoop, getting the tea about who the colleagues are dating, what departments may have layoffs, and all the questionable things that the manager did at the holiday party. I think we all know one person is totally coming to mind for me. Um, since there's always gossip, this type of annoying coworker is always busy year round, creating distractions for others. And they're the person you go for when you're like, wait, I'm confused. Like, what happened to Nancy in HR? You go
Oh
over to
yeah.
this person, you're like, oh, so heard anything about Nancy lately? And they'll have the tea for you,
This person is the unsung hero of The Office. This person needs to be recognized more because I feel like everyone is like, ugh, so annoying. They're just the office gossip, blah, blah, and stuff like that. And yet everyone goes to them all the time and depends on them for all that information, right? So,
Totally. No, I totally agree. Like to me, they're not an annoying coworker, and I think most people will agree unless your name's in their mouth.
yeah.
Until
Yeah.
you're the part of the gossip that they're spreading, you're like, "Oh, I love this person," because you get to know
Yeah.
all the gossip from them.
Yeah.
But obviously, office gossip isn't the best. So the best way to avoid them is to, when they come around, try to not be there. Try to kind of disassociate. Don't encourage their gossip.
I disagree. I
Unnecessary gossip.
disagree. I disagree completely. I think office gossip is transactional
Yeah,
and
true.
you have to give a little to get some.
Yeah.
And I feel like it can also help a lot to navigate the workplace, to
Hmm.
kind of have a better idea of what the vibe is.
Yeah.
Um, Plus, it is ultimately work would be so boring without the gossip.
I totally agree. But I
Unless you
do.
love what you do, which good for you if you
Yeah,
do.
rare.
But if you're just working for this big corporation, you have this job to do, and you're not working for bettering, you're not reaping the benefits of your work, then at least have some fun at work.
I totally agree. You know what though? I think like as much as we all love work gossip and like does help, just be mindful of what you're gossiping about,
True. True.
if you're gossiping about like things that like need to be reported, like, sexual
Oh,
assault or like someone being harassed, that should go to HR right away,
yeah. And
and
if it
yeah.
falls into bullying, also,
Mhm.
like, don't take part of that, or don't
Yeah. It's
take part of shutting that down, rather.
yeah, it's easy to gossip about like little things, but keep it at that, you know?
That's fair.
Like, "Oh my god," like someone
You're such a
stole
better
the
human being than I
You're like, "No,
am.
don't stop. Keep it going."
Yeah.
Um, was there any office gossip ever spread about you that comes to mind?
I wouldn't know. Was there any office gossip spread about me?
I don't think so.
Liar.
No, I honestly don't think so. This like actually just came to. This was not part of my notes. I'm like, "Oh,
I I
yeah.
think our our alliance, yours and I, was very obvious from very early on. So I don't think anyone would dare to gossip about each other to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, but there was that whole drama with your mixer that you got,
Yeah. Yeah.
your blender.
There was like so like our class like that we taught gifted us like high value presents, but
Yeah,
mine happened to be a brand named high value present and I got in trouble for it.
and like a like very status brand high value present, but
Yeah.
like in the end, the amount per participant that they spent on her thing was the same that they spent on mine, and was similar to what other class was getting
Yeah.
in but they were getting in like chocolate bars and a bottle of wine and stuff like that, right?
Like
um
technically we did the math. They spent $20 per person. So you got $20, I got $20 per person, which is the same as someone handed me a $20 gift card. But
yeah,
because they put like what was it, 20
it's
people
still
put
very
$20
generous.
together. Exactly. Yeah.
It's still very, very generous, and it's way more than we expected. And it's, as we found out, more than our company guidelines allowed for gifts
There was no
from
guidelines.
employees.
I will say that there was no actual guidelines. What the problem was that when they found out how I got it, like why I wanted it, was because I had it in my wish list, and we had like a wish list with these like company points that you give each other, and I was
Oh
showing
yeah.
them how to work the company points, and they happened to see my wish list, and
Oh
then
yeah, yeah,
later
yeah.
it was like, oh well,
It felt like
she
priority.
asked for it,
Yeah.
like that was her.
Oh, that was some juicy drama.
That was some
It
horrible
was
drama.
ridiculous. You were so
Um,
anxious about it.
yeah. But like I feel like that was just like drama. I don't think anyone gossiped about us and lied.
Oh my god, everyone talked about it. Are you
Uh,
kidding me?
yeah, but like it was all like what happened. It wasn't like yeah, Sanya did ask for it. Was it?
Well,
I'm
I don't
kidding.
know. But I mean, it was, that's what gossip is, right? You don't,
Yeah.
did you hear what happened? And like, they think it's because of this and blah, blah, and all that, right?
hmm Actually, the funniest part was months later, another class, like this, like that class is gone and graduated. 2 months later, another class was telling me, "Did you hear about the girl who got this blender?"
No,
That was when I was like, "Oh, interesting. Tell me more." And they actually
that's
told me the person who
so
told on
good.
us. Do you remember that?
No, who, no. You can't say who,
I
obviously.
can't say who. No,
Oh,
you
you'll
know
have
this
to tell
because I
me after.
remember calling you immediately, being like, "Oh
That
my god, I
is
just found out."
hilarious.
But yeah,
No, the really embarrassing part is that we both ugly cried like babies when they gave us our gifts at the end of
yeah,
the graduation. We ugly cried. I don't think I've ugly cried so bad in my life ever before.
yeah.
Plus, we were sweaty
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say
that
I
room
don't
was so
remember crying as
gross.
much. I just swatted. I swatted a lot.
You also cried a lot.
Yeah, I cried a lot, but I like maybe it was the sweat also coming out on my face because I just remember being really hot. But it was really
Anyways,
sweet. Um,
we were the worst coworkers for everyone else.
moving on. Another kind of coworker that we hate is the suck up, the kiss ass.
Oh yeah.
Um, I feel like I sometimes was a kiss ass in like school. I don't know if I ever brought it to work. But every work group usually contains someone who sees the easiest way to career advancement as rubber stomping everything the boss says or does. Whether it's constantly complimenting the supervisor or volunteering to pick up extra project, the suck up is always a first um, with a hand in the air. Most supervisors know the suck up in the team and know what they're up to and may be perfectly okay with them there to do everything and validating their every move. To counter this irritating presence, be genuine with your boss about your true opinions and ideas while also being a strong individual performer and team player. Many managers will appreciate having an employee on the team who can who they can trust and share authentic insights with, even if they don't agree with them. Which I totally agree. Like being a suck up, I don't think is the right way to the top.
No.
I think it's yeah, be your own freaking man, you know?
I thought you were going to call me out for being a suck up sometimes, which I don't think. I think the redeeming thing for me is that I do speak up immediately when I don't agree, and
Mhm.
like I'm not afraid of confronting a decision in a big meeting with a lot of people.
Mhm.
But like I do like to please authority a lot, also.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you're a sucker, but I do think you needed a lot of validation.
Oh yeah,
Which I
yeah,
do too, but I think you just went out. You're like, I need validation. Let me go find it, and you just walk in, waltz in, and be like, I don't know if I'm doing right, and they'd be like, you're doing amazing, and you'll be like, okay,
yeah.
thanks. Well, I'd be like, I want validation too, but I just won't walk in anywhere, so I'll just be a little sad.
Yeah.
Till someone validates me,
You're
I'm like,
funny.
really? You think that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I also had a crush on our boss a little bit, so
I know.
can't believe I just admitted that on air.
On air.
On air. Live.
I'm gonna turn this into a soundbite and post it on our social media so he can
No,
see.
don't.
I'm just joking.
My God.
Okay, this is one I also personally hate, like more than like the suck up or the gossip, is the know it all. Every
Yeah.
group has a know it all who may exhibit some of the same characteristic traits as the suck up. This self explanatory type is often the jack of all trades, but the master of none. Nevertheless, the know it all wants to be sure to come across as authority on every topic. When ignoring the comments fail to stop the behavior, try calling the person's bluff with other facts that call into question the know it alls overreaching expertise. It may only buy a few days of improved behavior, but the respite can be worth the intervention. Um, I feel like the know it all is literally like the person, like when you're like trying to tell them something and they just want to get in their opinions,
Yeah, yeah.
really bothers me.
Oh yeah, that's one that's very difficult. I think that's one I can see you struggling a lot with. Like because you are super 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 sensitive and rightfully so to mansplaining.
Yeah. Hmm.
And so it like triggers you a lot when someone does that to you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, this is the only one that like if I have a coworker that like is the know it all, I'm just like sometimes that and sometimes I'm like I don't want to talk just to waste air, so I won't say anything. But this person has to get their thoughts in, and I'm like, that's what I was thinking. I just didn't say it out loud because I know how to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%.
Um,
And it is always very clear and plainly written on your face.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And like it doesn't always have to be the man either. I know some female know it alls in my life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, it really bothers me, personally. There's another one. This like doesn't bother me as much, but it's an annoying one. The one upper
Oh
when it's
yeah.
like you tell them your cat died, and they're like, "Well, three of my cats died," or you tell them like, "Oh my god, I'm so tired." Like, like I had a long night. Well, I had the longest night ever, and you're like, "Oh my god, like I can't converse with you because you're always gonna try and one up me."
That one annoys me a lot.
Yeah,
The one for oh yeah, 100%. That's something that's just like ugh. Like I didn't ask for your experience.
exactly. Like, yeah. Um, this is also a personal one that annoys me a lot, but the negative Nancy.
Oh yeah.
I can't stand people that are just negative out of no reason. Also, like in a workplace, sometimes just like being negative, just like to me in
It's just
general,
not appropriate.
being negative is just I can't stand that. I think it's kind of a bad habit. I should let people be negative sometimes, but especially in a workplace, it's like we're not all happy to be here. We're only here. Most of us are here for a paycheck, So if you're gonna just come in with your negativity, it is
Yeah.
very annoying.
Yeah.
Um, I think
Oh,
my way
it's
of
so annoying not being able to say names. I just want to like spew names with you. Oh my god,
maybe
we'll
you
have
can
to talk
say them
after.
and we'll just beep them out.
No, we can't. It's too much editing. I'm not doing
um, yeah, but
that.
I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of who you're
Oh yeah,
thinking.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you've noticed also in like since like 2020, all over social media, like these workplace like behavior videos have taken off.
Oh yeah.
Um, it kind of talks about like office etiquette and like corporate lingo, work from home etiquette, and all those things. My personal favorite is Laura. She goes by Lo Whaley is her Instagram, and her bio is your virtual bestie. And she started all these videos, and she's also Canadian. And she started all these videos where she would start with like work from home etiquette and like when you get that like teams call the song and stuff like that. And lately she's been doing a lot of how do you professionally say videos. Have you seen these?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so well, we're gonna play this game now.
Okay, great,
So
perfect.
basically it's gonna be I'm gonna ask you how do you professionally say something that you can't professionally say, and you tell me how you'd be able to say this in like the corporate jargon.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, actually, I do know those kind of videos, and I think I might be good at this.
Okay, I'm excited to find out. All
Okay.
right. So, how do you professionally say, I told you so?
Um,
So, think like,
in
you
an email,
have
right, or something.
an email or even in person where, like, you told someone, like, hey, you need to finish this by Friday, 4 p.m., or the boss is going to get mad. They didn't do it. The boss is mad. And they're like complaining to you about the boss is being mad. And you want to be like, well, I told you so.
Oh, maybe I'm not good at this. Um,
You'd be like, "Well, I told you so."
Pretty much. Okay.
Well, listen here. I told you so.
I would say something like, nope, I don't know. Not, I can't find anything that's not condescending.
All right. So,
Do you have
the
a
one I
preposition?
had here from Laura, she said, "I did bring this to your attention, and this was gonna happen."
Oh, so it is condescending.
It is a little condescending, yeah,
But it's
but
polite.
a little polite, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Try me
All
again. Try
right.
me again.
All right. How do you professionally say you don't pay me enough?
Um, I believe this is outside of my um, uh, role description,
Well
and I
done.
would be doing myself a disservice uh, by accepting these tasks without a promotion or something like that.
Ooh, you double down. You don't pay me enough and bitch promote me.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's exactly it. Laura had said that falls outside my responsibility for this role.
Right, there you go.
Well done. All right, next one. How do you professionally say Google it instead of asking me like a normal person? Oh man, the amount of
Um,
times like I don't need not even like I need to just start saying this to people in general. Like, you know.
yeah, yeah. I am sure the information is readily available through many different resources at your disposition. Let
Well
me know if
done.
you need assistance in navigating those resources.
Amazing. Yeah, I have here. I think you'll find many resources if you start your search online.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
How do you professionally say stop acting like my boss?
Ooh. Um. Oh God, that's a good one. I don't know. Go ahead.
All
Tell
right.
me.
I have here I report to blank and I can loop them in.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
good.
don't think I would have been able to come up with that one
No.
myself.
Oh, that's good.
All right. And the last one, this is more of like it's not just a saying, one-liner, but how would you professionally complain about a coworker?
Oh, okay. Um, I would like to share with you some concerns and questions I have about um, blank's performance and hear your thoughts on them, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
It still feels very gossipy though.
Um, so yeah, exactly. Like I think it feels gossipy, but it wouldn't be, right? It's not like, oh my God, what Sandra did pissed me the fuck off, you know?
Yeah.
It's a bit more like in writing. We'll kind of talk about what to do if you have an annoying coworker a little later on. But I would say, yeah, like if you are filing a formal complaint or, you know, wanting to talk about to your boss about it,
Hmm.
uh, word it a bit like that. And like document everything. That's what
Did
I would
Laura
say.
have a suggestion?
No, this is kind of from my own head
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah. Document everything. Also, yeah, I would say
Yeah.
for sure.
Um,
If it's like an official complaint and stuff like that, I would straight out go and like I would like to make an official complaint about some behavior that I have observed in the office.
exactly. So right now we're just kind of just talking about basic annoying things. You can't really get mad at someone about
Hmm.
a know-it-all.
Or maybe you can help me navigate the situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like
Exactly.
that. I do that with my boss also. With my
Yeah.
bosses, I'll do that. I'm like, I would like your input and your assistance into navigating
Expertise.
a situation I have a difficulty with.
Ooh, so formal.
So this is the situation I have a difficulty with is that so and so is a total bitch. How do I navigate
That's
that?
so funny. Um, yeah, I'm like I don't like I do think you like to write your formal emails. You've sent me a
Oh my
couple. You're
god,
so
there's
good at it.
nothing more exciting for me than writing a passive aggressive, condescending email.
Yeah. That's so funny. All right, so we're gonna go into some basic annoying things coworkers do. Obviously, I had to search Reddit, and Reddit never fails. I found some really funny ones here.
Oh my god, okay.
This one is honestly so basic, but I love the way the person wrote it. They're like, prints every fucking thing all
Oh my
day
god.
long from the moment they get there until the moment they leave. Receives an email, prints it. Sends an email, prints it. Google something, prints the results page.
Oh my god.
And that just killed me because I could that would 100% annoy me too. I would straight up be like, "Do you need that printed?"
Yeah.
Um, in the comments section, there was someone wrote, "My coworker and I used to make fun of people that did this by saying things like there used to be trees in Oregon," and then when they heard the printer fire up, they would scream timber.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
Okay, this one I have no words. All right. My wife has an annoying coworker that uses fake spray tan stuff. We're not sure if it's a nervous tick or what, but she likes to rub the side of her face against door jambs and corners if she's leaning against it while talking to you. Their office is full of orange patches that are about 1.5 feet up from the ground. Or 5 feet and a half, sorry. She's 5.5 feet, and she's just, I guess, rubbed her face all over the corners of the office, and they just see her little orange spray
Oh
tan.
no.
Imagine that.
That is so bad.
I also kind of feel for her,
That's
like
so
it might be a
embarrassing.
nervous tick and she just never realized. Imagine the one day you realize
I was gonna say I hope she never clues in and she never finds out. That
and
is
then just
so
stops
embarrassing.
herself.
Because it's obviously she doesn't know what she's doing, and
Yeah.
it's so embarrassing when she will realize.
Uh, so funny.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
The next one I'll need your little help reading.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna ask you to read everything except what's in the brackets.
So last night I went to the grocery store.
Store,
When I was in line to check out,
out,
the guy in front of me was paying with a check.
check,
It took the guys 10 minutes to write it out.
out.
Oh no.
So
What is
this
happening?
is when your coworker finishes your words while you're talking like the rapper's hype man. Have you
Oh
ever had someone
no.
do this to you?
Um no, I can't say I have.
Okay, it's funny because I don't think this was a thing till I met her.
Oh
And
no.
she was the sweetest girl, such a delight to work with. But she kept doing that. And like while I was talking, you could notice her looking at your lips and like trying to predict your next word and complete it for you. And it was so freaking annoying. And I didn't work
I
for a very long time, but like I wonder if anyone's ever told her. I think it's like an anxiety thing.
I know that I can do it sometimes to people when I notice that they're struggling to finish a sentence,
Fair, yeah.
when they're stuck on on a word or something.
Yeah, like when they have a little bit of a stutter and they're trying to
Yeah,
pronounce it. Yeah, but I think that's different.
yeah, that is different.
I think that's
I
very,
think it can be annoying also, but I think it is very different.
yeah, exactly. Like, and like, I kid you not, like, like this person will just like try and like finish your sentences. I wonder if it's like,
Horrible.
like they've read a book growing up and it's like you finish their
Yeah.
sentences, you fall in love with them. She was actually hitting on me and I never realized.
That is so funny.
Um, and then I'll get you to read this last one out.
I swear to God, if you do that to me again, I'm not going to finish. All right. When I was in uni in Glasgow, I worked with probably the most stupid person I ever walk the face of the earth. I remember she was using a stapler which had jammed. She unjabbed the staple and then tested it on her finger. No. She was asked which pizza topping contained pork. She replied, spicy pork, ham, and after much head scratching, green pepper. She once bought a birthday card for one of our colleagues. It was one of those ones with his year of birth and notable news events in the front. When it was pointing out that he was born in 1973, not 1972, she said, "Never mind, I'll just keep it for his birthday next year." Oh my God. The way that was spelled, her accent is like, was perfect.
I know. I'm glad that you did it like that too.
But also, that's so dumb. I'll just keep it for his birthday next year. Um, she got a hole in her tights at work, so I said she could nip out and get another pair. Oh, I'll just turn them inside out. Worryingly, she left to become a lab assistant. Whether this meant she was continuing employment in a field of science or just helping out a dog from time to time, I don't know. I suspect it's the former, though. A lab assistant.
So funny.
Oh
All
my God.
right. Do you have any basic coworker stories that come to mind?
Um, Let me think. I
I don't know
can't.
if anything can top that one.
No, I don't know any ones that I'm ready, like that I feel comfortable sharing without it being mean either.
That's so funny.
Trying to think
Fair.
times that I,
Was the annoying coworker?
yeah, or was embarrassed at work. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
That's okay. All right. So moving on. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast, but I did go to school for HR management.
Oh, yeah,
So
shoot, you did.
technically, I can give some advice about how to deal with conflict and drama in the workplace. But so far, we've just been talking about like the harmless coworker, just for type of personalities you can't get along to. Um, so lately, there has been another huge contributing factor of like the drama and disagreements and conflict in the workplace. And that is, as of 2023, there are 5 generations working in the workplace together at the same time,
And that's insane.
right?
Yeah.
So we have the traditionalists, baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, also known as Gen Y, and then Generation Z, however you want to say it. How do we say it here in Canada?
Gen Z.
Z. Okay, thanks. I always forget. um, all right, so I'm going to go a little bit into these generations and how they work. And hopefully that will trigger your memories or make you think of, drama you have had in the workplace or conflict you've had in the workplace due
Mhm.
to this generational factor. So the traditionalist, also known as the silent generation, this group was born between 1928 and 1945 during the Great Depression and World War II.
We
Although the
don't have coworkers from that age in the workspace anymore, though.
I mean, they're in their late 70s and actually
So only in politics.
I feel like we do in our workplace too sometimes. And there are
Oh my
those like,
God.
if you think of even like those people that just don't want to retire. And you
Yeah.
know what? Some of them are still like, totally able to work. They don't look like they're in their late 70s. But
No, they do.
But a couple of them, yeah, no, I do see a few of them sprinkled out here and there. Like, even if you think
Yeah,
of, like, going to your local Walmart store, like the door greeter, and stuff like that. Um,
yeah.
all right, structured and stable work environments help the traditionalists excel. They appreciate clear expectation and fixed work schedules. Traditionalists might be used to transactional leadership. You perform your job in exchange for a paycheck without too much emotional investment. They appreciate hierarchies and procedures and prefer to separate personal from professional. I'm also thinking, like, large corporations, their senior execs are
Mm,
still probably traditionalists. They make so much money and they refuse to retire.
yeah, yeah.
Next, we have the baby boomers, born between 1946 and 1964. Many baby boomers retired during pandemics. Many baby boomers retired during the pandemic and continue to free up jobs for the younger generation. On average, boomers held up 12 jobs over their lifetime, only half of which they were after 24 years old. Their loyalty to their position gives them a deep understanding of their job role and chosen industry. They don't always need constant feedback or to be micromanaged by higher ups. And I do think that I agree with that. A lot of the baby boomers I know, like, like whatever job they're in, they've been in there for like 30 years plus.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
plan to retire here. I feel like that's the generation also that cares a lot about, like, yeah, like when they're getting hired, like, or when I'm getting hired, I've had a lot of boomers be like, oh, what's the pension plan? And I'm like, as a 29-year-old, I'm not really looking as much as the pension plan. Yes, I
Yeah,
should. But in all fairness, I want to make money right now, you
yeah, yeah,
know?
yeah,
But
yeah,
they really care about their future.
yeah. And benefits that come with work, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So Gen X was born between 1965 and 1980. They were the latchkey kids. Do you know what that term means?
No,
Yeah, me
what does it
neither.
mean?
It was everywhere, and
Oh,
I had to Google it. Means children who were regularly left without adult supervision during significant portion of the day.
oh, okay, okay.
So, like, I think during their childhood, they were forced to be independent quicker. They grew up in a time when more women swapped domestic roles for the job market. So many were home alone after school before both parents returned home from work. They value their work life balance and prefer efficiency, so they have more time for their personal lives.
Hmm.
And then we talk about the millennials, the Gen Y. Born between 1981 to 1996, millennials sit on both sides of the technological shift. They were born before the popularization of the internet and personal computers. The Great Recession, a tough job market, and high student loans defined many of the millennials' entrance into the workforce.
Hmm.
Flexibility, work life balance are often large parts of the millennial lifestyle. Freedom to manage their schedules, pursue remote work opportunities, and find time for self care is key for them to avoid burnout.
Right.
I agree with this. And then
Hmm.
lastly, we're talking about the Gen Z generation. Generation Z. Uh,
Don't say Generation Z, just Gen Z.
Gen
Generation
Z.
Z sounds really weird.
Well, it's written here as
Sorry,
Generation Z.
I don't know. I like that. Just
You felt
see.
very triggered by that.
Yeah, and I've
The
let it slide 3 times already.
Wow, he's keeping track.
Yeah.
The newest working generation. This group was born between 1997 and 2012. Gen Zers are digital natives coming from an age where cell phones, social media, and rapidly developing new technology. They represent over one fourth of the American population and are the most diverse generation in US history. The Gen Z workforce want security through job training and attention to their mental health. Mentorships, wellness programs, and career development opportunities are all ways to engage with these Gen Zs. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, so having several generations in the workplace teaches everyone to be more open and foster understanding. It unites various perspectives, experiences, and new set skills, enriching all team members for potential learning and growth. But
Hmm.
getting past the differences requires work. Um, Implicit bias, differing communication styles, and work preferences can crash into one another when you can't acknowledge them. Developing transparent communication and empathy bridge helps the gap in there. Um, you can I've seen this almost every day at work where you notice where the baby boomers are calling Gen Z's lazy because of their work style, but they just have grown up in such a different environment that I don't think that's fair.
No,
um and
I I was gonna say, like, I feel like the clash I see the most at work is between boomers and Gen Z.
mhm, I
I
totally
feel like
agree.
that's the two groups that I see clashing the most at work.
Mhm,
Um, Especially in the service industry, because the way they relate to customers is so different.
mhm,
I feel like boomers are very more of the old school, like, oh, dear customer, your presence is such an honor today,
customer's
and
always
like,
right.
customer's always right, and we are so blessed to have you choose our company and all that and blah blah.
Mhm,
Whereas Gen Z relate to customer on more of a one-on-one equal footing level.
mhm,
And I feel like that irks them a lot. Meanwhile, I just want to make everyone happy. I just want
yeah.
nobody to be mad at me.
Yeah. No, totally. And yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you. Like I see the difference between baby boomers and Gen Zs. I see the struggle of it. Um I think it's easier for Gen X's and millennials to kind of understand Gen Zs. I don't always agree with their approach, but I can
No.
understand why they're like to brought up that way and
Yeah.
where they're coming from. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, exactly. When you were born is makes your values very different,
Yeah.
and I think that is something
And
to
I
be
think
mindful about.
they're much more, they have a much more realistic perception of what their role is in a huge corporation and what is fair and not fair for them to give to an employer,
Gen
right?
Zs.
Gen Z, yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like they're way more realistic about that, and they're way more secure in their own values as individuals.
Hmm.
Whereas the rest of us are still in the mindset of like, we owe everything, we owe our firstborn child to our employer, kind of thing.
Hmm. And like you can see um so like a Gen Z's parent would be a Gen X, and Gen
Yeah.
X values that work life balance a lot more, and that's what they were raised to do, right?
Hmm.
While millennials parents would be the baby boomers,
Yeah.
while they value loyalty to your position and things like that, and that's why we aren't as big on like the mental wellness part, but like we do care about self-care.
Yeah.
It just, I think we try and unfortunately give our job our all, and then our self-care takes a back seat, while Gen Xers and um Gen Z's are Gen Zers Gen Z's are very different on that approach.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
Hmm. Yeah. So I think I just wanted to touch on that by saying, we do have annoying coworkers, but sometimes it's just a huge generational difference in the way they were raised. Not
Yeah.
always generation either, just the background they come from, cultural backgrounds. And before I end us off, I do have always have a little Reddit wild story.
Oh my god. Okay.
This one is a little long, so I'm gonna shorten it up a little bit as much as I can. So one of my coworkers who I thought was friendly, But that's it. Brackets, they were married. Sent me some inappropriate text at 3 a.m. on St. Patrick's Day weekend. They were asking me to come over to have some fun, saying that he had been into me for a while and knew that I felt the same.
Oh my
Um,
god.
she said, I don't, I'm a lesbian, but she's not out at work. He also sent me a naked selfie,
Oh
luckily cut off right before his dick, but still not appropriate.
my
So when
god.
I saw this, I was out with my friends, but I decided this is a Monday problem. She's huge on her work life balance. She says that she doesn't answer like work texts and all that during the week. So she ignored his message. He sent me several later for saying sorry he was drunk, then saying he hadn't said it and how he wanted to, but he was still into me and had a feeling that I felt the same. So he apologized, but then he was like, well, that's not what I meant
Double
though.
down.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm still
exactly.
into you, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so she's now in at work on Monday and she writes him an email on her work email. She
Ah.
says, hi, coworker. I'm writing to follow up on your messages from the prior several days. See attached. Please
Ah.
only contact me through work channels during regular business hours. I do not use my personal number with colleagues. Additionally, I found the content of your message unwelcoming and inappropriate. Please only contact me regarding work. Um, I didn't send the email to HR, but I did carbon copy my personal email. So I have a copy of the email just in case.
Yeah.
And he got really mad. He texted me back saying I'd crossed a line attaching his picture to a work email. Was I trying to get him fired? I screenshotted that text and attached it to an additional email saying, as per my prior email, please only contact me about work matters and on only my business email or Slack. He stopped texting me, but then came to my desk to speak to me. And before he had said anything, I asked, is this a work question? He said I knew what it was about. And I said that I was unavailable for a discussion at the moment. And if he needs to meet with me for a work matter, he could schedule a meeting in my calendar and include read ahead to brief me on a topic for the meeting. He walked off. I'm not surprised. I feel
That's
like
so
I was a
good.
bit of a bitch in dealing with it, but maybe I should have told him to cut it out before the text. Oh, sorry, by text. But also, I'm sick of dealing with this shit at work every day. I feel like my patience. I feel like my patience to use my own time and energy to gently ask guys to cool it is worn thin. I want to set the precedent that I won't engage at all outside of work and work hours and work accounts. Am I the asshole for sending that email?
Oh, that's so good. I don't think so. I think it's really inappropriate. It's no, I don't think so. I mean, I feel like the writer would have gave us more context if they were very friendly and already had a texting relationship. And it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like they did not already have a texting relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would say absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it's no, it's really good that you confront them to the gravity of their own actions.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
totally
like
agree.
this is on the work server now because you did this action to a colleague.
I don't think she's the asshole at all. I think she's an unsung hero.
Yeah.
Whether they had text messages from before, they were friendly from before, 3 a.m. on St. Patrick's Day weekend,
No.
no. And unsolicited, not even dick pics, but naked selfies, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you. You know?
Yeah.
And like, obviously, married or not, shouldn't be doing this, but he is married. So
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
So there's an update.
Oh my god.
So looks like an overwhelming majority of y'all think I need to go to HR to get ahead of this. I was considering holding off to see if he cools himself, but by the way he came to my desk after being told off twice makes me think that it's not the best idea. I'm going to forward this email to HR, write up the conversation we had at my desk, and ask them to meet me to discuss. Another update now.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I sent an email to HR this afternoon and they called me in for a meeting the same day. I told them everything, though there wasn't a lot to say that hasn't already been captured in the emails. And
Yeah,
they assured me that I would not have any more contact with him at work. They're going to meet with him tomorrow. It's still not decided if he'll be fired or if he'll be moved to a different position where he won't have any reason to speak to me. I have a feeling it might depend on how he handles the conversation with them. I do have a good feeling about emailing HR. I feel like, along with myself, I've possibly helped out other women by starting the paper trail if it turns out to be something he's done more than once.
yeah.
Another edit.
Okay.
Holy shit. I went out to happy hour with a few of my female friends in my field to vent. One of my friends told me she'd met the same guy at a professional conference, given him her business card with her phone number, and he sent her a nasty picture too.
What?
She just replied saying that that was inappropriate and that she has a husband. He said something about her husband not having to know. So she had her husband call him, leave him a voicemail telling him to fuck off, and then she never heard from him again.
Oh my god.
I asked her if she'd be okay sending screenshots to the text exchange to my HR contact. She was. She even wrote an email. She even wrote that she had met him at a professional conference where he was representing the company, and she gave him her business card for networking purposes, and he sent an unsolicited pic, um, and that she needed her husband to intervene to stop the harassment. I haven't checked my email again, but I'm trying to leave work at work and not dwell on this anymore. But it seems that HR will have even more to go off on before the meeting with him.
Oh my god.
And of course, the last
That's
and final update that we all want, right?
yeah.
He was fired. I don't know a lot of the details, but I had a follow up meeting with HR soon. But my coworkers told me that he was escorted out of the building this morning. One of my coworkers who sits near the HR office said that she heard him screaming at the HR staff during the meeting. It's crazy how stuff escalates, honestly. It was just last week that I thought this guy was chill.
That yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like it's obviously she did the right thing because like then it's just her hunch about this person was right, right? It's just
Hmm.
like, well, not her initial one, but like she was like, oh no, like this probably happened to other people, and this is not okay. It needs to get reported. And it's true, like it's not normal people who do that kind of behavior.
It's
It's
not.
people who are very problematic, and it's people who needs to be reported because these kind of behavior eventually escalate. Like screaming at HR in their office,
Yeah,
that's a
because you
huge
sent a
red
dick
flag.
pic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I totally agree. And like, that's the thing. Like, what she did is, sorry, 100% what everyone should do, right? But for some reason, we feel like we're overreacting.
Yeah,
We feel bad for this person because they're gonna lose their job or get in
yeah.
trouble at work, or they're married. It might affect their marriage, but they don't think twice when they do it.
No,
You know, and
exactly.
and it can lead up to something like kind of talking about baby deer. Oh, sorry, baby reindeer, the
Oh, baby
TV
reindeer. Yeah,
show
yeah,
where
yeah,
like he gives her a cup of tea, doesn't think much of it, and then she starts sending all these emails and he doesn't think much of it till it literally ruins his life.
yeah,
And like things should be reported. I feel like there's so much stigma around it. Obviously, like if you're able to talk to the person before, if it's not as intense, do that. But for these kind of things, I would say
yeah,
report it.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
To finish us off here, I do have some little tips and tricks um, to do if you have colleagues that are getting on your nerves. Obviously, if they're doing extreme, please report it, record it, all of those things.
Hmm.
But if there's just, not as extreme, don't resort to violence. Instead, just like be frank and direct with them. If someone's just saying annoying things towards you, making unintentional remarks, just let them know, hey, I'm really not comfortable with you saying these things. Um, Avoid spreading gossip. If you
Whoops.
are into a little bit of gossip, just trust the person you're gossiping with, Try not
Mm,
to, like, for me, like, obviously I love gossip too, but sometimes, like, if I hear a tall tale, I'll start off by saying, this is a tall tale. I don't know how true this is, you
right.
know? Um, Try not to sweat it too much. I think that's something I also try and tell myself every day, especially like, when I'm dealing with that person who's the know it all,
Yeah.
or the negative Nancy. Like, it's not personal towards me. That's
Yeah.
just their personality.
Yeah.
Be the better person. That's self explanatory. And then also just make sure you're not the problem. Everyone, including yourself, has pet peeves. You may, however, overdo it as well at some times. Um, if you find that, you are bothering someone, try and figure out what you're doing because you never know. You might be the office know it all. Yeah.
I like that. That was really entertaining and very triggering.
Do you feel like this is personally targeted at you?
No. I
Okay,
feel like
good.
you would have told me,
It's not.
but
It's 100% not.
no, I know. But I do wonder how I am perceived in the office.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I feel like someone needs to be direct
Yeah.
and tell us if we're annoying. Um, but for now, we'll just talk about other people at the office.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Yeah. So let's hop off this call and name names. I'm just joking.
Name names exactly. Yeah, we do need that. Okay. Well
Yeah.
done. That was very interesting. That was fun.
Thank you. And the day this posts, I will post a little story. And if you have any coworker habits that we didn't mention or talk about, or any wild stories, please share because we'd love to hear
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for
Um,
listening.
Bye everyone. Have a good week.
Tell Me Like I'm Stupid is created and produced by us, Saniya and Thomas. You can follow us on Instagram at Tell Me Like I'm Stupid.
If you'd like to support us, please subscribe and review on your favorite podcast streaming platform. Our cover art was created by Ish. Find him on Instagram at h.e.e.s.h.
Thank you for listening.